Hello, 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 Black Healing Matters family. This is Danielle here at the Black Healing Matters podcast, where we offer you ideas to hopefully move you one step closer to your healing. And I'm so excited. This is one of my favorite days of the week. It hasn't always been, but due to the theme of today, Tuesday, I really appreciate this time. And you know why? Because it is Know Thy History Tuesday. Yes, Know Thy History Tuesday is when we here at the Black Healing Matters podcast dive deep into some specific element, person, empire, or some great vestige of our rich African history. And yes, up until this point on the show, we have been talking about exclusively African history. And today that continues. So last week here on this segment, Know Thy History Tuesday, we talked about the ruler, Mansa Musa. And that Mansa means king or ruler. And so he actually ruled over the Mali Empire. And so today I decided, okay, what better to talk about than the Mali Empire itself? Great idea, right? So I ask you, what do you know about the Mali Empire? Have you ever heard of it? And by the Mali Empire, I'm not talking about the country of Mali. No, not at all. I'm talking about the ancient empire started in the 1200s, 1235. Yeah? No? Know anything about that? Okay, well that's all right, because most of us don't. Unfortunately, as we know, as black people, we don't get the luxury of learning about our history in the classroom for the most part. I mean, it's pretty rare, far few in between to get that kind of experience and knowledge. And so I've said it many times that knowing our history is a true key to valuing ourselves, not only as individuals, but as a collective group, as a collective community of Black people, of Africans and the diaspora. And so I hope that you will get the warm and fuzzy tinglies and the pride, the cultural pride that comes along with understanding just a little bit more about your history. And on today's episode, we're going to, like I said, talk about the Mali Empire and just give you a brief overview of it. I'm going to read maybe 10 minutes about the Mali Empire, and today's passage actually comes again from the website blackpast.org. But I've also supplemented this and found other information on other great websites, such as South African History Online, which is sahistory.org.z as in zebra a. Yes. Great websites, great resources. If you are looking to learn more about African history, again, our history as Black people before slavery. Yes, before Europeans entered Africa. What was it like? That's what we seek to discover here on this segment of the Black Healing Matters podcast. So, after we come right back, we will get right into the Mali Empire. Stay tuned. And we're back, fam. Welcome back. So today, as I promised, Mali Empire. I'm reading this passage, as I mentioned, from the blackpast.org website on the Mali Empire. So here we go. The Mali Empire was the second of three West African empires to emerge in the vast savanna grasslands located between the Sahara Desert to the north and the coastal rainforest in the south. Beginning as a series of small successor trading states. Ancient Ghana, the empire grew to encompass the territory between the Atlantic Ocean and the Lake Chad, a distance nearly 1,800 miles, encompassing all or part of the modern nations of Mauritania, Senegal, Gambia, Guinea, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, Nigeria, and Chad at its height in 1300. Mali was one of the largest empires in the world. Yes. Ooh, yeah. One of the largest empires in the world. And this is West Africa, fam. And so, yes, that is where many slaves came from, West Africa. So this truly is a vestige of our cultural history, man. This is real, okay? Ooh, I feel good already. Exciting. Okay. Moving on. The Mali Empire was strategically located between the West African gold mines and the agriculturally rich Niger River floodplains. Mali's rise began when the political leaders of Ghana could not reestablish that empire's former glory following its onset and occupation by the Almoravids in 1076. Consequently, a number of small states vied to control the salt and gold trade that accounted for Ghana's wealth and power. In 1235, Sundiata Keita, I think that's how you say it, Sundiata Keita, Keita. Okay. The leader of one of these states, Kangaba, defeated its principal rival, the neighboring kingdom of Susu, began consolidating power in the region. Sundiata's conquest in 1235 is considered the founding of the Malian Empire. Under Sundiata's successors, Mali extended its control west to the Atlantic, south into the rainforest region, including Wangara goldfields, and east beyond the Great Bend of the Niger River. At the height, in 1350, the Malian Empire was a confederation of 3 states, Mali, Memo, and Ouagadougou, and 3 garrisoned provinces. Wow, it's huge. Yeah, that is pretty big. The emperor, or Mansa, as we mentioned before, ruled over 400 cities, towns, and villages of various ethnicities, and controlled a population of approximately 20 million people from the capital at Niamey. The Malian army numbered 100,000 men, including 10,000 cavalry. During this time, only the Mongol Empire of China exceeded Mali in size. The Mansa king reserved the exclusive right to dispense justice and to tax both local and international trade. That trade was centered in 3 major cities, Timbuktu, Djenné, and Gao, which we've heard about last week as we talked about Mansa Musa. And as you know, Mansa Musa, between 1324 and 1325, was one of the most famous Malian emperors because of his elaborate pilgrimage to Mecca in Arabia. Wow. Bringing thousands of followers and hundreds of camels carrying gold. Through the highly publicized pilgrimage, and indirectly through an elaborate trade that sent gold to capitals of Europe and Asia, Mali and its ruler, Mansa Musa, became famous throughout the known world. Mali's power, however, was eventually weakened by palace intrigue that prevented an orderly succession of imperial power, and by the desire of small states to break free of its rule, to reap the benefits of the salt and gold trade. The first people to achieve independence from Mali were the Wolof, who resided in what is now called Senegal. They established the Jollof Empire around 1350. In 1430, the nomadic Tuareg seized Timbuktu. This conquest had enormous commercial and psychological consequences. A relatively small but united group had occupied the richest city in the empire and one of the major sources of imperial wealth. That is, again, the Tuareg people. The greatest challenge, however, came from a rebellion in Gao that led to the rise of Songhai, which Black Healing Matters family, we talked about the Songhai Empire. You can go back and listen to that episode. I believe it was 2 Tuesdays ago. The only vassal state to Mali, the once vassal state to Mali conquered Mema, one of the empire's oldest possessions, in 1465. 3 years later, they took Timbuktu from the Tuareg. Beginning in 1502, Songhai, which again was a rival empire, Songhai forces under Askar Muhammad took control of virtually all of Mali's eastern possession, including the sites of commercial exchange, as well as gold and copper mines at the southern and northern borders. Even the desperate efforts by Mansa Mahmud III to craft an alliance with the Portuguese failed to stop Songhai's advances. In 1545, a Songhai army routed the Malians and their emperor from their capital, Niamey. Although Songhai never conquered what remained of the Mali Empire, its victories effectively ended Malian power in the savannah. Wow. Okay. And so this is really interesting to me because now we've talked about the Songhai Empire as well, which came after the Mali Empire we just talked about. And we've also talked about the ruler Mansa Musa, who was a ruler of this empire, the Mali Empire. And so it's really interesting to see how these empires kind of changed and kind of like waves, And I guess that goes to show how different the changing of power is in today's world, the world we live in, the modern world today, than it was at that time. And that, there is always change. Even in this empire, again, this is in 1235, this empire reached its height in 1350. Even at that time, they had multiple different ethnicities, and again, 20 million people in one place is amazing, right? In one kingdom, that's amazing. At the time, when you imagine that, this is before the time, I think we mentioned before in a previous episode, that History Tuesday, that London, the city of London, only had a population of 20,000 people in the 14th century. And so this is before then, and they had an empire of 20 million and a cavalry, just an army of 100,000 men. That's wow. Okay, I'm inspired. This is amazing. And so, Black Healing Matters family, please know that you and me, Black people, we come from a rich history, a history of builders, history of rulers, of wealth and power, and people who stood up for what they believed in, even in war, even in, conflict. That this is just a natural part of life, and yet still they were able to achieve amazing feats, amazing success. Again, this is the second largest empire in the world at the time, ruled by one king. Can you imagine? Wow. And again, all black. I love that. That makes me happy. To see and hear about black people doing amazing things on this planet. That does my heart good, and I hope it does for you too. I hope that you get the warm and fuzzies just as I do. And on that note, Black Healing Matters family, unfortunately, story time is over, but I encourage you to continue to learn more about African history. If you've been intrigued today by the Mali Empire, then please go and Google it, learn more about it, sign up for a class, and really dive into this. And like I think I've said this before, that once you start to learn about your own history, you'll never be the same, truly. And that's my wish for you today. So, I love you, Black Healing Matters family. And as always, stay blessed. Black Healing Matters.
Man, I have to give a major shout out to my Anchor intro for playing my intro. Really do appreciate it. I think the concept of this station, my Anchor intro, is so fantastic. That, there are people in this community working for the community, to actually promote each other. It's really great. So thank you so much, guys, to the guys over there at my Anchor intro. They are running a great show, and I appreciate what they're doing. And here is my Anchor intro. Hello, this is Danielle over at the Black Healing Matters podcast, where we offer you ideas to hopefully move you one step closer to your healing. On this station, you can expect to hear not only ideas, but specific tips, techniques, and tricks to help you heal. Very simply put, we have a tight rundown from Sundays, Set Your Intention Sundays, to Mondays, Mental Health Mondays, Know Thy History Tuesdays, Welcome Wellness Wednesdays, Doing the Right Things Thursdays, and of course, Finance Fridays. So, if you need healing of any of those areas of your life, whether you're Black or not, come on over and join us at the Black Healing Matters podcast. Stay blessed, and as always, Black Healing Matters.
Hey, BHM, Black Healing Matters. This is Miss Yvonne from Reality Speaks. I see that you favorited my station, and I just wanted to come right back and reciprocate the love. Thank you so much. It means the most to me. And I look forward to, doing more of this. I will be honest, I haven't had a chance to listen to your content just yet because I'm in the middle of traveling. However, when I do get settled, I will do that because it looked like you got some good stuff. And trust me, I love good stuff. Anyway, like I said, I just wanted to say thank you for favoriting my station and giving me that, push to say, hey, I want to hear what you got to say. I like what you say, and bring more. And that's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to listen to you also. So as I continue to do this, continue to put the love out there in the universe, and God bless you.
Shouts out to Black Healing Matters, y'all. This your girl Lotus. Killing it in the Killer Cali. Calling straight from the West Coast. The West Coast. It's the B-Me. In the place to be. And I definitely wanted to slide through and just say thank you. Thank you for coming by, for stopping by, for noticing that I'm listening in on y'all page. Thank you for noticing that I applaud. And although I'm new to Anchor, and just want to give a heads up that I definitely am shy. And so thank you. Just thank you for leaving that message, because that motivated me to make my rounds too. So, I mean, this is the first time I'm making rounds, and just definitely wanted to stop by and say thank you for showing me love. One love, y'all.
Hello, Queen. It is KG from BHMG, and I appreciate you just as much as you appreciate me. I want you to continue to do what you're doing, because I listened to your fear segment, and that really is what I needed. I needed at that moment. Just know that you're part of my motivation at this point, and I thank you for that. Really appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing. Much love. Peace.
Hello, it's Edwin from Wake Up Learn. Love this segment on Know That History. It's one of the things that's inspired us to do Wake Up Learn and sharing the stories. We always share the stories, even though we do technology and teaching robotics. We teach about inventors and always give history, whether it's ancient Egypt, Mali, the Zimbabwe Empire, all these things. And the kids really love to gravitate toward that. One story that really captured their attention was, story of the Mali civilization, that they actually also mapped stars and, tracked the Sirius star, one of the earliest known people to do that. So it's very inspiring. I'm glad you're doing that segment.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.